Hi guys. Hi. Happy Friday. I hope that everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing well. And so I'm here, okay, again, as we continue on the topic of activating your sexy, okay? Activating your sexy. And this is something that we have been, kind of talking about a little. I've been kind of, in and out discussing this because we say that we want to grow. We say that we want to be successful with our stuff. We want to be successful with what we have. We want to be successful with what we are producing, what we're giving people, what we're showing people, things like that. We want to be successful with that. And so in order to be successful, in order to, be what we want to be, it takes a lot of things that we need to do. Okay? It takes a lot of things that we need to do. And so we've been talking about activating your sexy as far as setting your show, your station, your network up to be successful, right? And I've been talking about, making sure that you do what you need to do for the look of your station, making sure that your show or your station sounds good. Yesterday, we talked about three reasons why you need a professional intro. Okay, we talked about that. Okay, those are very important things. So you might want to, kind of take a look at that video if you have time. But today, we're going to talk about the mindset part of it. Okay, like the vision part of it, because, I do a lot of reading. I'm a book nerd. Okay, I'm a book nerd. I love to read. Okay, not only do I love to read, but I like to take what I read and I like to apply it. Okay, so Cindy Trim is one of the people. I read a lot of her books, especially when it talks about vision, especially when it talks about, your mindset and things like that. I read a lot of her books. And there's a quote that I read from her, and I will never forget this quote. This quote is near and dear to me because it made me realize a lot of things. And the quote says, "Your feet will never take you where your mind has never been." Right? And so when I first read that, I was like, oh wow, like that's deep to me, because that means that we can try to get somewhere, but if our mind hasn't been there, if we can't see it, if we can't imagine it, if we can't visualize ourselves in that or visualize ourselves being that, then we will never get there. So your mind has to be in a certain place in order for you to reach what it is that you're trying to reach. So when you say, I want to be a successful radio show host, you need to imagine yourself being that. Not only imagine yourself being that or seeing yourself being that or, writing that down, declaring that and walking by faith with that. But we also know that the word of God says faith without works is dead. So therefore, it's not only enough to visualize that, but you have to create the steps. You have to actually do the work in order for that to manifest. Okay? So you have to do the work. It's not enough just to speak it. It's not going to fall into your lap. So, speak it. Okay? Yeah, great. But then also work it. You know what I'm saying? And so that quote for me has been one of the top things that I look at every single morning. I have these little things. I'm going to see if I can. These are things that I do, because I'm dramatic. So I went to the dollar store and I actually purchased these things, these little cute little things. And, it basically allows me to, have what I want to on there so that I can post the things that I want. So this one is create the life you want to live, right? This one says fear does not live here, okay? All right. And so I have these little things and I put them all around my room, like around my desk, around my work area, in the office. I put this there because I have to see it. And so On my wall, you'll see different type of things that I have, and it allows me to see it every morning. Like, hey, fear does not live here. You're not operating in fear. You know what I'm saying? You're a faith walker. You're going to do this. You know, I'm a vision board and binder type of girl. So I will have a vision board on the wall. I have a whiteboard on my wall where I scribble and write things that I want to do. But not only do I write the goal, but I write the action steps in order to get there. So when you're saying, I want to be a successful station owner, then that means you need to not only, you know, write that down or see yourself as that, but then you also need to create a strategy in order to get there. You can't sit around and wait for it to just drop in your lap. It doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to produce the works. If there are no works, then it's dead faith. Okay? It's just dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just dead. Because faith without works is dead. All right? And so not only is that the one thing that I, you know, go by, but I also go by being a risk taker. You know what I'm saying? Because in a Cindy Trim book that I read, you know, like I said, I love to read. But in a book, she has a book called Hello Tomorrow. And I do not have it at my desk right now. But there's a book called Hello Tomorrow, right? That I have been reading. I'm actually in the second round of this book because there's so much stuff in that book that just, it blows my mind. And I'm a type of girl that I like to highlight and underline and take notes and all of that. So for people that can just read a book and then call it a day, I'm not that type of girl. I read a book, I study it, I look things up, I take notes, I underline, highlight, all that good stuff, right? But she talked about being a risk taker, right? And she said risk takers operate by vision, right? Not by sight. People that play it safe operate in sight. They operate by what they see. They operate by what's going on around them. They operate with, you know, whatever is in their path. But a risk taker operates by vision, meaning I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to jump. I'm going to take that leap. I'm going to go do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? And they are not afraid of falling because we understand that, you know, making a mistake or having I don't believe that there's a thing called complete failure. You know what I'm saying? Because we become fearful of that word, failure. What if I fail? Okay, you fail. You learn from it. You get back up. You dust your pants off, and then you try again. You know what I'm saying? You try again. And we get so caught up on that. And the fear of failure will paralyze us, where it's like, I don't know. I can't do it. You know, I'm going to wait until this time. There is no right time to start. It's right now. It's just right now. You either jump or you don't. It's sink or swim. That's what I tell my team. It's sink or swim. What are you going to do? When you jump, are you going to swim or are you just going to sink? Which one? You know what I'm saying? So you have to figure out where it is that you're trying to go. You have to figure out what it is that you're trying to do. And you create a strategy for that, right? You create a strategy for that. And you learn how to be a risk taker. Everybody can't be a risk taker, and sometimes we don't know how to be a risk taker. If you would have caught me back in maybe like 5 years ago, I wasn't a risk taker. Well, actually, we can say like my magazine is 3 years? We can say 4 years ago. I wasn't a risk taker. I didn't know anything about it. Now, the girl jump all the time. You know, I jump into something all the time because I'm not afraid to fall on my face sometimes. Because sometimes that may be where I need to be. And you take it as a learning opportunity. Okay, so it didn't work out this time. So let me revamp, let me revise, and then let me try again. I'm going to redo. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that is what we need to do. All right? So with this quote, guys, like I really wanted to share this with you because this is another way that we activate our sexy. We have the mindset in order to build. Because you can't build if you don't have the mindset to build. That's like me trying to go and build a house and I have no knowledge of how to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes time. You have to get to that point. Right? Nobody knows how to build a station just off the top of their head. Sometimes you take classes, you learn, you make mistakes, you revamp, and then you redo. Sometimes we don't know how to build networks or be a successful radio host without the mistakes, without the failures, without, the down points, so that we can learn and then redo. So again, your feet will never take you where your mind has never been. You need to visualize yourself in wherever it is that you want to be. Right? Wherever it is that you want to be, you need to visualize yourself there. You need to write it down. You need to make a goal. You need to have a vision. You know what I'm saying? And then, not only that, but then create a strategy for it. Put down your action steps. What actions are you going to take for that? Some people like to plan out their whole 2019 in one time. I can't do that. I plan quarter by quarter, and then I take the quarter and I break down each month. So quarter one is January, February, March, right? And so in quarter one, when I'm planning quarter one, then I'm taking January and I'm knocking it down. Like, this is what I want to accomplish in January. This is what I want in February. This is what I want in March. And then I have to go back and break it down again. Okay, week 1 of January, this is what we're doing. Week 2, this is what we're doing. Week 3, week 4. And I have action steps for that. So it's not like, oh, well, let's just fill up our calendar. That's cute. Because sometimes we fill up our calendar and then those things never happen. Or we make all these New Year resolutions and they never happen. It's not enough just to write it down and feel accomplished that you wrote it down. But let's feel accomplished by actually having some action steps and a strategy and a solution, a formula of what we're going to do. Because you got to see it. Not only do you have to see it, but you got to map it out. You got to plan it so that you can build it. Right? That's what you got to do. When a person is building a house or something, they create a blueprint. You have a blueprint. And so they go by that blueprint of that. You know what I'm saying? They go by the blueprint of that so that they can build. So sometimes you have to not only just see where it is that you want to be, but then you create a blueprint for where you want to go. Right? Success lies in your hands. But you have to work your way into that. You have to work your way to that. You want to be successful? Then be successful and make a plan. Be successful and start building. Be successful and create a strategy for where it is that you're trying to go. Okay? Your feet will never take you where your mind has never been. I stick to that daily. Because I want my feet to take me in different areas before different people. Not just some people, but great people, successful people. People that have already made a mark in this world, in media, because I'm a media girl. You know what I'm saying? So I want my feet to take me in those positions. But they will never do that if I can't visualize myself there. And not only visualize myself there, but create a strategy and a plan to get there. Stop waiting for breadcrumbs and things to just pop up and fall into your lap. You know what I'm saying? Make a plan, make a strategy, create a blueprint, and then walk it out. Make it work. It's a faith walker. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. We walk by faith and not by sight. Okay? We don't look at what's going wrong or what's this or what's that. We continue to walk based off of what we visualize, that vision that we have, that goal that we have. We walk into that, not by what our natural eyes see, right? So I want to encourage you, I want to challenge you, right, to make a goal, make a vision, right? Make a vision and write that out. Write your vision out. Right? Write it out. And then I want you to also write out how you plan on getting there. How do you plan on getting there? Okay? How you plan on getting there? And let's start working for quarter one. Okay? We're not going to jump into everything all big at once, But let's start on quarter one. Let's start for January, February, March. And then let's break those months down. Let's break those weeks down. What is it that you're going to be doing every week? Are you going to level up on your live streaming or your videos? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to change out your show? You know, are you going to make your show more professional? Are you going to, start working on adding people to your station or adding people to your network? Like, what is it that you're going to do? Put those goals down, and then let's put action steps towards that so we can get to that place. Okay? All right, guys? I hope that makes sense. I hope y'all getting something from this, because I don't like talking, just talk. All right? So figure out what it is that you want to do. I will be posting a form in the group, and this form is for people who want to grow. If you're not the type of person that want to grow, don't even worry about it. Don't even fill it out. That's cool beans. But those of you who want to grow, you have a vision, you have a goal, then I'm going to post a form in the group, okay? And I want you to fill out this form. And then the top things that you want to work on, we're going to help you accomplish that, okay? We're going to help you accomplish that. We want to see what it is that you want to see more of, what ideas you have, what, problems you are facing, so that we can help you get there. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. All right? So I have that in the group a little later on this evening. But make sure you do that. Also, those of you who want to join our training tomorrow, yes, it's going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? Because, Saturdays, the rest of my Saturdays, I like to chill. I have a daughter. I like to chill, binge watch on some TV or something like that. So my trainings they do be 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? For my network, when we meet, we do Saturdays at 10. And that just works for me and works for everybody else. So that way you'll have the rest of your Saturday to do whatever you need to do. But if you would like to join us tomorrow, make sure that you register so you can get the information to join us. But we are going to start at 10 o'clock sharp. All right. And we're going to talk about activating our sexy daily, weekly habits to help you be successful, okay? To help you be successful, all right? We're going to have some challenges, and like always, I'd love to give away some freebies, okay? So if you want some freebies, you come on and join us, all right? All right, guys. Well, like I said, I hope that you got something from this. If you're watching the replay, make sure that you hashtag replay in the comments, okay? Because I do give out freebies to people that likes to join us and do different things. So you never know what we may have in store for you. But make sure that you hashtag replay at the bottom so I know that you basically kind of watched this video. All right, and those of you who have already registered for the training, I will see you tomorrow morning. If you're not interested in the training, don't worry about it. All right, but those of you who are, cool beans, let's get going. We're going to grow. Because I tell you, the people that do pay attention, that are hungry to learn, those are the ones that grow. Those are the ones that are making moves, that are making strides. And I see that. You know what I'm saying? I see that. I don't know everything. I only give what I know. I ask questions. I get trained, and then I train others. You know what I'm saying? But when you are hungry for the knowledge, you're hungry to learn, then you are more likely to be successful, because you're going to take what you learned and you're going to implement it. You're going to apply it, right? And then you're going to grow. Okay. All right. So, I will chit chat with y'all later. If there's something that you need or you have questions or anything like that, please make sure to reach out to us. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning in our Activate Your Sexy training. Okay. All right, guys, have a great one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.